Morning, guys. It is Thursday, February 18th. I can't believe it's almost the end of February. It seems like February is kind of flying by. And I hope you enjoyed your snow day on Tuesday. Um, and then yesterday, the reading. So, students will be able to review details and events of the Mongol Empire to complete a quiz on the empire. So, that is a bigger quiz. That quiz is actually going to be about 20 points. So, that's all we're doing tomorrow. But again, we're going to go over the do now. I'm going to take about 5 to 10 minutes, not too much time just reviewing, because I want you to spend a bulk of the time today doing Kahoot as many times as you can, um, because those questions are directly from your quiz tomorrow. So it would behoove you to complete the Kahoot several times. Also, all the questions on the quiz you've seen before. They've been on all of your other China quizzes. So what I even suggest doing is going back into Edulastic, going back to those quizzes and reviewing your scores on them and the questions you got correct and the questions you missed. Because every single question on your quiz tomorrow, you have seen and answered before. Okay? Today is also National Battery Day. So thank you, batteries, for our TV remotes. So you have a do now. It's working with China, but it's also map skills. If you look in the lower right-hand corner, there's two questions. So one is working with location and two is working with place. And if you remember all the way back in the beginning of the year when we started our math and historical skills unit, not math, we talked about all the different reasons to read a map. One is location to see where something is, and also how to get to know a place. So we're reviewing those skills with this map of China. So you want to definitely look at the key, and then you're going to pause your video and answer these two questions. All right, so if I'm looking at my key, I see that this whole light blue area, which is kind of silly that they did it light blue because the water is almost the same color, the Tang Dynasty. Remember, the Song was a little bit smaller, but the Tang went all the way over here until Genghis Khan kind of took it over. And then we have the Grand Canal. If you remember that, this was created during Kublai Khan's reign as ruler. This increased trade from the north and the south and really helped boost the economy. So boats could get through and there could be more trade. So the first question is, what two cities were connected? So I know in my key, I see this solid blue line says Grand Canal. So the first thing I'm going to do is go find that line. All right, so I see right here, I see it starts in the north in Beijing, which is the capital of China today. And then it goes southeast over to Hangzhou. So in my do now, in my box, I'm going to write Beijing and Hangzhou. Now the second one is a little bit trickier because you have to know specifically how to read a map. So it says what physical feature made up much of the northern border of the Tang Dynasty. So I immediately go, okay, north. And if I don't know where north is, I can just find my compass rose and go up. So I'm going to go up to the north. The Tang Dynasty is in the blue, so the Tang Dynasty ends about here. Well, I don't really see anything with the naked eye, but I look at other parts of my map and I see here it says Himalaya Mountains, right? So that means that a mountain range is going to be in italics, however you want to say it. So I'm going to go to the north and I'm going to see if there's any words in all capital letters that are italicized. And right here I see Gobi. Now, if you don't know, the Gobi is a desert, okay? It's a desert in northern China, almost in Mongolia. And when we think of desert, we think of hot, right? This is not a hot desert. This is like a tundra. This is extremely cold. And so we are going to put that in our text box as well. All right, so here we go. There is a ton on this quiz, but like I said before, you've seen all of these questions before. The only thing that's probably newer is the Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism because we just did that last week. Um, so that's a little tricky. Um, but you're going to see the geography of China. You're going to want to know about bureaucracy, that merit system. In the Tang and Song dynasties, remember the merit system was when people, it didn't matter who your family was, you could take the civil service exam and get a higher paying job. Now, mind you, you had to be wealthy to take the test, but there was more room for mobility in society. Confucianism, remember Confucius and those peace and harmony in the world with those 5 relationships, father to son, husband to wife, younger brother to older brother, friend to friend, and elder to younger. Sorry, I'm like looking up at the ceiling. Buddhism in China, Tang Dynasty and Song Dynasty, the Ming Dynasty. Remember, the Ming Dynasty was with Kublai Khan and the Forbidden City. Mongols and Genghis Khan. We spent a lot of time on the Mongols. And then you're going to have some primary source analyzation. So kind of like the beginning parts of DBQs, where you're just given primary sources about the content, and you need to analyze those primary sources and break them down. Now, I do want you to be careful on book one quiz. There was one question where you had a map and you had to explain goods that were going back and forth from China to Europe, and a lot of people mix those up. So make sure you're really reading those primary sources. These are our action words, okay, that you will have to do on this quiz. You're going to need to match. You're going to need to define. You're going to need to explain, classify, which is like those drag and drop questions. So like Tang and Song, and you have to put the whatever. Describe, and analyze. Now, one thing I just thought of that I can do, and don't hesitate to reach out, is you're just feel free to just text me. And what I can do is I can actually redirect those quizzes for you. It won't change your grade. But I can redirect those China quizzes for you if you want to practice those questions even more, which might be helpful besides just the Kahoot. But again, you can do the Kahoot as many times as you want. And again, I can redirect you on those quizzes if you want to practice doing them more. So do not take the quiz tomorrow without Kahoot first. Please, please, please. This is 20 points. You guys just got progress reports. You want to make sure you are doing as much as you can to bump up that grade as we end the trimester. The trimester is coming up really soon. We actually have comps in a couple weeks. So this is a really good way to bump up your grade. It's like the equivalent of 2 or 3 homeworks. So again, I can't stress enough. You have all of these resources. You can go back to your slides and check them. You can go onto Edulastic and ask me to redirect those quizzes or check your answers on those quizzes. You can play the Kahoot 5 million times. Do not take the quiz without playing Kahoot first. Okay. And then just here, even if you just want to put no, I don't, just any questions for me. So tomorrow it's this big quiz. The quiz will take the majority of your class time. If you finish this quiz in 5 minutes, you will not pass it. So that quiz is going to take, I mean, if you average 2 minutes a question, there's 20 questions. That's 40 minutes right there, right? So that quiz is going to take the entire time. But any clarifying questions that you have for me, like Miss King, I'm really confused about this. I can't keep it straight, blah, 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 or where can I find this or whatever, please just type that and submit it. And then with that, I will see you all tomorrow for your quiz. And play Kahoot a ton of times. Bye, guys.